Hey everybody, I just replaced the battery on my Asus Z500M tablet, and I couldn't find a video on it. This probably isn't the best video, but it might be the only video right now because I haven't seen anything else on this. I used a little bit of the other procedures I found on the internet to replace the screen, the screen replacement video, kind of as a guide to how we get the battery replaced. So anyway, just thought I'd share how I successfully replaced the battery on my Z500M. So basically, in terms of tools and everything, I used a paper clip in order to get the memory card slot out, a couple screwdrivers, flathead screwdrivers to kind of pry it all open. You can use guitar picks too, I just didn't have any with me this second. You also need a T4 Torx security bit, and I just have it kind of attached into one of my little screwdriver things. It's a really tiny star-shaped security bit, and I actually lost one of the screws in doing the video because they're so tiny. Anyway, so it's very easy to lose these screws. This is fine though; it still works and everything. Okay, so anyway, following a couple of the videos on the disassembling the Z500M, first thing you got to do is take out the two Torx T4 screws. Now, like I said, I already lost one of them because they are incredibly tiny. Actually, they're so easy to take out. You don't even need the screwdriver. So just use just the bit and pop it out. Okay, there's one of the screws, the other one's lost in my floor. Other thing you got to do is pop out the memory card slot, this little thing. Just use a paper clip to kind of get it in there and pull it out. Okay, got my memory card out. Alright. Next thing you do, and again following really the screen replacement videos, is just kind of, you have to sort of get into the case, usually from a corner, and then either use guitar picks or like a screwdriver to kind of pry it open. Now I actually, this is after I did my repair, so it's a little easy to pry open. It's really not that hard though. You just got to sort of go around and pry it open until the back case is off. Okay, and this is my new battery actually, but I'll just kind of provide some guidance on how to actually change the battery, because I didn't see any videos or really guidance on this at all. Okay, and then following one of the videos I found on the web by Chris Budrick, the first thing you got to do is kind of detach this cable. This is the one that has an indentation down there, and as opposed to the other ones that are kind of on top. You can see how this goes kind of indented inside. Anyway, so the trick is to use a tiny screwdriver, and there's a little white strip inside there that kind of holds the ribbon cable in place. And what you got to do is kind of flip up the white strip in order to pull out the ribbon cable. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to use my small screwdriver and kind of get it in there. Okay, now I flipped up. You can't see it too well. See that little white thing? I flipped it up. So now you can sort of wiggle out the ribbon cable. Okay, so there we go. See, it's kind of like that, and it just sort of attaches into that little white connector thing. You can just flip it up and down. Okay. Okay, and to access the battery, what I did is I just kept this one in play, attached. You might be able to remove it up top, but I didn't really need to do that. I did take off the other one though. This other one is really easy to take out just with a screwdriver. You just kind of sneak it in there and just kind of pop it off. Okay, so it pops off there, and then go to the other side, pop it off there. Alright, so now we just take that cable off. I'm not totally sure if the ends are the same. One says con 2, you can see that con 2 up there. The other says con 1, and I'm keeping the con 1 kind of aligned with the side that has the indentation, the thing that we just disconnected. So I don't know if that's necessary, but that's what I did actually. So generally speaking though, it looks the same, but there could very well be some differences. Alright, so I'm keeping con 1 on the side with that indentation. Alright. Okay. Now this is where you actually remove the battery. It's actually this is my new battery, so I'm not gonna. I guess I could take it out. But the only connector is this little battery connector here, which you can undo with a screwdriver or some kind of prying tool, and that just pops open like this. Like that. Okay, so now the battery's loose, but the only thing that was like kind of a trick was actually removing the old battery, because it's kind of stuck on there with adhesive. I didn't have a good solution to that, so I just kind of pried it out. I'll show you what the old battery looks like in the end. It looks a little scary, and I mean, it feels weird to me, like kind of prying out a battery, because I thought there might be some chemical reactions going on in there that might be affected by peeling it open and out like this. But it was fine, and I just used basically a couple screwdrivers and just sort of went from all the sides and just kind of kept prying and peeling it. It took about 10 minutes of kind of playing around with it, and then I was able to pull it out. And there is adhesive at the bottom underneath the battery, but I didn't really do anything with that adhesive. I didn't add any new adhesive. It's just kind of a pain in the butt to detach the battery when you have all that adhesive material there. But anyway, that's basically it. Now to reassemble it, the battery connector goes right here again. Just kind of pop it on there. Okay, snapped on the battery thing. And then this is the one with the indentation. So the trick then is to kind of stick the ribbon cable into the little slot. It's a little hard to do with the camera running, but you basically stick the ribbon cable into the slot and then flip that white thing down again. So I'm going to turn off the camera and do that real quick myself. Okay, so I got the cable into the slot, then I just use a screwdriver or some kind of tool to slide or drop the tab down. You have to kind of do it from both sides until it's completely down. Okay, looks like it's down now. Okay, so the ribbon cable is kind of firmly attached. Then I'm just going to grab my other ribbon cable, and again I'm orienting what says con 1 on the side with the indentation. And now I just kind of attach that thing in there onto the two connectors, sort of push down on them. Took a second, sorry about that. And then the other one up top. Alright, there we go. Everything's firmly in place. got the two ribbon cable connectors in, and this other one, and it's attached to the tab, and the battery connector on top. Okay, so then I just put the cover back on, and you can't really power it on with the case off because the buttons don't really work. So to really test it, you got to put the cover back on, as far as I could tell. But just kind of align the cover properly, and just pop straight back on. Snap everything in. Snap, snap, snap. And then again, I lost one of the screws because they are incredibly tiny, but then you just kind of screw it back in with the T4 Torx. Let's see if I lose this one. And again, you don't, I mean, I just use the bit. I don't really need to use a screwdriver attachment. Could probably find these screws on eBay or something. Okay, got one of my screws in, and then I pop the memory card reader back in. Kind of pops in right there. Okay, memory card just slots in. I think that's it. Now I'll power it up, make sure it powers up. And there it is. Alright, and then lastly, I'll just show where I got the battery from, and I'll also post a link in the description. This is the battery I got. It's from a company called ASUS Accessories, and it was, I think it shipped from Europe at about $69. It's for the Z500M, and my specific model is the P027. Hopefully this is useful. I'm sure somebody else will post a better video. Yeah, but it was not a huge process. It took about 20 minutes to get through this all. Alright, see ya.